Hi, everyone, and welcome again to MGS Coaching Football. I do really appreciate it. Today, in this particular sim pressure front presentation, I'm going to share with you how we overload a side with a five-man front sim pressure look, okay, and why we do it, and then simply how we move to it out of our base 3-4 front, okay, and the timing issue, okay, that would be involved in this particular sim pressure look, okay. So we call this east, right, and that's because both inside linebackers line up on the right, like east, as you look at the four cardinal directions. And the way it's set up is that both inside linebackers are on one side and both outside linebackers are on the other, the opposite. Okay? And so, simply put, if I tag a nose call, the nose goes opposite the front. So, east, the nose goes right, and the other front opposite east would be west. The nose, Mike, and backer go to the left. If I say nose and east, then the nose goes left. He goes opposite. Okay, it's a different look. All right, but all that being said, I have it drawn up here in our playbook versus an 11 formation, 11 personnel, right? One back, one tight end, H back. Okay, we treat them similarly. Okay, they can be both the same guy that's an inline tight end or it's a whole different person, right? Depending on the opponent's personnel. Okay, that being said, our secondary, okay, their rules are unaffected by the front. We run this versus 10 personnel, 11, 12, 22 back. We'll run it against all different offensive personnel groupings. And what we're trying to accomplish here in particular are a couple of things. One, if it's the run game and we put the Mike and backer up on the side of the H-back, it makes it a little bit harder, if not really hard, for the offense to run the G-H counter because the center blocks back on this nose. That's who's gonna pick up the Mike, and there's two guys here for the tackle to pick up. So that's gonna make it a little bit difficult. Okay. You look at this and you say, oh, you have a void here. We have those gaps accounted for, okay, in different ways. Either the Falcon, the Rover will take care of those gaps, or we have some kind of a blitz where this linebacker's coming over and plug blitzing the opposite A gap, etc. So they're accounted for, okay? Hence the varies, all right? So what I want to do first is I want to talk to you, show you how we line up in our base 3-4 and then move to this, okay? So in our base 3-4, I'm not going to change the offensive symbols, okay? But that is how we would look. My apologies there. Okay, that is how we would look. So now, because when you see it, there's a little bit more movement involved. We have to move a little bit faster. But when the offense comes out and they set the front, they call out the Mike and this, that, and the other thing, they make all their calls. When that's done, we'll make our move call. So then what happens, as you saw, we let the Rover go in front of the Mike and backer, and then simultaneously okay, that's how it happens. So there's not a lot. It's not impossible. Do you have to practice it? You bet. We do a lot of practice, the movement piece of it during the spring. And then in the preseason, when we have lots of opportunities in our walkthroughs, in our meetings, right? So you may not have that opportunity in high school. So you got to kind of decide on probably one type of sim pressure front look, one that works best for you. And I don't mean for the season, but just for a particular game, maybe. I mean, even we tend to do that. Okay? But then after we make the move call, that's how we look. So as you see, it's definitely possible. You just have to time it up. For us, the guys who are up on the line already, so that would be our defensive end, the stud, the nose, right in the end, they're going to have the ability to move first. The rover's going to run behind them, and the Mike in the back or watch all that happen as they move down to the line of scrimmage. Okay? Keys for us, I'm a big believer in tangible landmarks. Okay, when you're in a shade, which 4 of these guys are, they line up on toes. So the inside toe of our defensive ends on the tackle's outside toe, outside hand down, gap foot back. Okay, here, near toe on center's near toe to line you up in the A gap. So left toe on near toe, gap hand down, gap foot back. And then the linebackers are staying a 2-point stance, but they're right on the line of scrimmage. Inside toe on guard's outside toe. Okay, threatening the blitz, the B gap. Inside toe on outside toe of the tackle, threatening the blitz, the C gap, and it bumps the tackle out at least the full yard outside. Okay, pushes everybody out. Okay, and so what we're trying to accomplish, as I said, in the run game, when we put these guys to the H-back, that makes it really hard to run their GH counter. Now, the tip usually is when the back is to the H. That's when they're going to run the GH counter. When the back is away, they're probably going to try and get to the edge, outside zone. Well, we have a plan for that. Okay, we just make an easy call, and our defensive end gets vertical up the field, set the immediate edge, right, force it all back into here. But in the pass game in particular, when we do this, we're going to get a 4-man slide, minimum. Guard, center, guard, tackle. They're all going to slide to these 4. And that's what the sim does. Because when they're on the line of scrimmage, these 5 have however many down linemen there are. Right? So we've got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they might be in a 2-point stance, but because they're on the line, they're treated like they're a down lineman. So we get to dictate the protection. And now we know where the back has to fit in, right? So we pretty much can guarantee what the pass protection is going to be. Okay? So that's what we're trying to accomplish with this particular 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-man sim pressure look. Again, you don't have to put 11 guys on the line or 7 guys on the line. As you saw with our north and south, right? We had 4 on the line. Now we have this particular look where we can put 5 on the line. And this particular outside linebacker, the rover, he's in a hip alignment on the defensive end, so he too is an immediate threat. All right, but he's also available for pass coverage. So the big reason we're a 3-4 team is it makes it really hard on the offense to figure out who the blitz is going to be, where the 4th rusher is going to be coming from, all right? And this particular look, there's a lot they have to try and account for, okay? So, as always, if you have any questions, please reach out to me at Coach MJ Sullivan at gmail.com because I'd love to talk football with you.